Hi, this is Pat Ray from Pat's Prevention and Treatment Services. This is Dialectical Behavioral Therapy. Today, this is Monday, DBT. What I need from you, first of all, is to grab a piece of paper. I need you to print your first and last name on that paper. Put today's date, the type of group, which is DBT. And the topic today is dialectics. That is DIALECTICS, dialectics. Now, we are going to be offering some Zoom groups for DBT. I have someone who might be willing to present that group, and that will be a 5 o'clock group as far as I know. If that changes, I will let you know. But for now, we are doing online in the video. You will watch the video, then you will do a progress note. In that progress note, you are going to list 3 full statements about anything you learned, thought about, or want to talk about. In order to be given credit for this group, a few things have to be in order. 1, I need a full progress note with some meat and potatoes in it, as I say. You will need to have paid for your service, either by letting me know on your progress note if someone else is paying for it, such as another program, or if you are paying cash or you have insurance. If you have insurance, please remind me which one. And if you are paying cash, then you need to call and pay for this session. You can call 217-954-1128 or 217-766-9132. You can come to the door with the exact cash between the hours of 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. So I need a progress note, I need payment, I need for you to make sure to take a picture of your progress note if you are not dropping it off and send it to me at pat@changeisachoice.org or text it 217-766-9132. So progress note, I need that to be sent to me. Or you can drop it off at the office 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. All right. Today we are talking about dialectics. And as those of you who have been in DBT for a while, you know that dialectics is looking at the middle ground. You know, we have the far left and the far right, and then we have the middle ground. So dialectics is looking for that middle ground, opening our mind. Closed-minded thinking, thinkers only think in tunnel vision. They only see one way to do things. They are not open to other ways to look at things or to do things. So dialectics is about opening that mind and looking for that middle ground, realizing that you can be right and I can be right, even if we have different opinions. So you say, oh, that's crazy, but that is absolutely true. So we are looking for the kernel of truth in both sides. And that's dialectics. We're moving away from either or, and instead we're moving to both and. Either or, we're getting rid of that. It's either this way or it's that way. And instead, we're looking at both. We both have a point of view. We both have a kernel of truth in our point of view. And so I can be right and you can be right. We're moving away from black or white thinking to black and white thinking. There's that and. So we're getting away from rigid thinking. Dialectics also talks about acceptance, tolerating distress, accepting what's happening in the moment, accepting it is as it is. It is what it is. We are looking also that there can be change, and we're going to look towards how we can be more effective in our interpersonal relationships. So acceptance and change. Acceptance, we accept what it is, and we look at how we can, when it is possible, change in the way that we interact with other people to benefit both you and me. Okay. We're going to look at some assumptions of dialectical behavioral therapy, some assumptions of dialectics. Number one is the assumption that we really are doing the best that we can. However, we can improve, and we want to improve, even though we're working very hard. We can do much better. We can try harder and be more motivated to change. Some days we're just not motivated. We also know that we may not have caused our own problems, but we must solve them anyway. We may not have caused them, but we still have to solve them. We also are looking at how sometimes our lives are unbearable as we currently live. Our lives are unbearable as we currently live. I want you to think about that for a moment. So we must learn new behaviors in all parts of our lives. We are also looking at the reason that we may have trouble regulating our emotions. Regulating emotions. Emotions are usually an issue for folks. And dialectical behavioral therapy is focused on learning how to regulate emotions. Now, people with problems regulating emotions have high sensitivity, very sensitive to everything and everybody around them. High reactivity, we react, boom. And slow return to baseline. In other words, it's very difficult for us to calm down once we've gotten started. So, high sensitivity to everybody and everything. High reactivity to everything and everyone. And slow return to calmness. Part of the problem is that some of us were raised in invalidating environments. What does that mean? Invalidating environments. The parent says, "What's wrong with you?" The kid says, "I don't know, there's nothing wrong with me." You know what's wrong with you. In other words, invalidating what the kid said or believes. The kid says, "I'm afraid." No, you are not afraid. That's the invalidating response. And so pretty soon, the kid does not believe what they say. They say, there must be something wrong with them. There must be something wrong with me because the adults in my life are telling me that what I'm thinking and feeling is not true. Okay. Invalidating environments. No compliments, no encouragement, always negative, backhanded comments. Invalidating environment. Now, here's another thing that we learn in dialectical behavioral therapy. One is the behavior, the problematic behavior that we exhibit or have exhibited was one time very useful to us and served a purpose, but now are ineffective and cause us more problems. So whatever that is to you, we each have our own. Maybe it's walking around angry all the time. Maybe it's drinking a lot of booze, whatever it might be. That problematic behavior served a purpose at one time, but now is ineffective. We need to reward ourselves for reinforcing ways of living. Reward ourselves for reinforcing ways of living, things that we're doing well. And the idea or the principle, dialectics tells us there is only one way to realize meaningful life, and that is through practice and more practice. It took a whole long time. We practiced a whole lot, and we got where we are. We practiced those behaviors that are problematic, and that in turn caused more problems. In order to make that change, we definitely have a lot of practice. We practice and we practice some more in order to have a meaningful life. I mentioned acceptance a minute ago. Acceptance means becoming aware of and present with our thoughts and emotions. Self-awareness, knowing what you're feeling, knowing what you're thinking. Differentiating ourselves from our thoughts and emotions, or getting unstuck or unfused. So, I am not what I think and feel. Distant differentiating myself from that. Acceptance is also practicing controlling our attention. It's not about controlling our thoughts, but controlling our attention. Mindfulness is also part of dialectics. Mindfulness, learning how to control your mind attention so it does not control you. So it does not control you. We look at being able to tolerate stressful and distress, and therefore we are accepting what is happening and tolerate the uncomfortable moments and times. So, acceptance, distress, tolerance, skills to help us get through a crisis situation without making matters worse. Doing something different than what we normally do. It's not intended really to help us feel better, but it is helping us to tolerate the moment of what is going on without making it worse. It requires, again, practice, going back and back and back to the skills that we're learning to stay in the moment without making it worse, to tolerate it, to get through it, to do what is necessary to get through it without making it worse. We change our reactions to our emotion. That's number one. paying attention to the emotion and change it. Change not the emotion, but the reaction to it. When I get mad, instead of cussing somebody out, I walk away. Or I go grab some ice cubes and I just hold on to them. I don't allow myself to cuss the person out until the ice cubes are melted in my hand. You said, that's crazy. But I guarantee you that you will not cuss somebody out because your attention is going to be focused on that moment, on those ice cubes. Learning to identify and use emotions as allies, not enemies. So realizing that all emotions are valuable. It is not the emotion, it is our reaction to it, what we do. Learning how to distance ourselves, slow down, and practice doing something different. Taking the walk, taking the breath of fresh air, ripping up papers out of an old magazine. You say, that's crazy. Well, try it. When you're stressed, when you can't get off the worry machine in your brain, rip up magazines, strip by strip by strip. Emotion regulation, in other words, calming down, managing, balancing. It's not about changing or controlling our emotions. Instead, it's about changing our reactions to it. That's the key. That's what we remember. Emotions are not good or bad. They just are. They come, they go. They're not facts. They are not who we are. It's what we do with them. Do something different. Easier said than done. I will agree with you there. But nothing happens if we don't put forth an effort to try to make that change. So when you feel like cussing your mother out, instead, go write a big long letter and then burn it up. Write your mom a letter, burn it up. If you have to do it 5 times, do it 5 times. Do not burn the house down in the process. Burn it up outside or in the bathtub. Okay, change interpersonal effectiveness. That's the next big piece, how we get along with others. So some of us who may have this 0 to 60 rage mode may find out we don't get along very well with others. And of course, we always blame the other person. But we want to learn how to get along with others. We want to help, we want to get our needs met by learning how to ask for what we want and say no when necessary in a way that is respectful to both of us, ourselves and the other person. We want to identify when we are manipulating other people. In other words, trying to get people to do what we want them to do without them knowing it. People don't like to be manipulated, and after a while they spot it. How do you feel when somebody is manipulating you? I know I personally get very angry, and I can tell when people are manipulating me because I am a manipulator. Okay, I want to also learn to pay attention to the reactions of other people and to give it pause. To observe other people when they're not feeling comfortable with something, when something is not going well for them. Give it pause, pay attention. So the whole idea is getting our needs met while respecting both ourselves and others. Now, those are some of the basics, and there are a lot of ways to get to regulating emotions, being more effective in our interpersonal skills. getting the life that we want. And a lot of it, as I said, goes back to open-mindedness. If I believe that my beliefs are the only ones that are true, I'm going to have problems interpersonally. I'm going to have problems regulating emotions. And these are going to make my life less happy and sometimes miserable. So if I'm miserable, I am the only one who can change that. I am 100% responsible for that. I didn't cause myself to be the way I am, but I am responsible to make the change. Only I can do it. All right, that's the basics. DBT. I need you to do a progress note for me, take a picture of it, and send it to me. I hope you're having a good day. This has been a very stressful time for a lot of people. I've talked to many people in the last week or so, and they are struggling. Life is different right now. So reach out, get the help you need, do some reading, do a little something nice each day. Get on that YouTube channel and punch in motivational speakers. You will get lots of new ideas. You did not cause your problem. It's possible you did not cause it, but you are responsible to fix it. So reach out. Do what you need to do to feel better in a way that is not hurtful to others and is helpful for yourself. Have a good day. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.